Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Community Access. I'm Terry Stiles, and today's guest wrote a book about eagles. So she, as far as I've been told, is the foremost authority on eagles, at least in the state of Michigan, right?
In the area.
And this is Joan Bonin. Joan, thank you for coming to the studio.
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate you being here.
It's
I've
a
had
pleasure.
so many questions about eagles because we're seeing more and more. I'm fortunate enough to see them quite often because I live on a lake that has eagles there.
And there are many lakes in the area.
Yeah, so let's start with, and I've got all these notes, but let me start with about how many nests are in Oakland County.
In Oakland County, there are approximately 8, give or take. I know there's some that we are not aware of.
That you're maybe just finding out
We're
about,
just finding out about.
Which
It's
is
about
nice.
the same in Macomb County.
Oh, okay, so
I try and keep an
so we've
inventory
got at
on
least
those 2
30
counties.
some eagles in the area.
Correct.
That's really
correct.
fascinating.
16 mated pairs. So
What do you think it is about the eagles that make them a U.S. symbol, that we all revere them so much?
it's their bravery and their strength and their power and their commitment. It's wonderful. It's wonderful being around them. And the longer you're around them, the more you realize, how they're so important to our country.
Powerful there.
Yeah,
So I'm going to back up a little bit. We talked a little bit before we got on camera, and I'm just amazed at how much you know. What is your background when it comes to birding and eagles?
My background, I have a degree in biology from a small college in Ohio. I never have had really the opportunity to go out and use that as a career. I went into other fields. So it was wonderful to get involved with these eagles. I just celebrated my 13th anniversary with them.
Wow.
And basically, I was driving, I worked for a civil engineering firm, and I was driving to work, and there had been beavers on Stony Lake.
Oh, yeah.
And they'd be out on the ice, and I decided I was going to photograph them. So I went over and photographed them and went on to the office and couldn't wait, downloaded my pictures, and they were terrible. So I thought, well, I'm going to go back and do it again. And so I went back, and there was an eagle on the ice.
Oh, for heaven's
And
sake.
it was like, oh my gosh.
How lucky is that?
Right. And the eagle, it was our P85. She went after a duck. It was a common merganser. And right when she went to dive, the duck dove too.
Oh.
And so she splashed into the water and came back out. It was exhilarating.
With
it was
the
totally, the duck escaped.
Oh,
And
for
it flew
heaven's
away, and she flew after it, but she couldn't catch up with
Wow.
it. And then she flew north. And I guess long story short, I eventually found the nest. I went out in search of it, and I found the nest at Inwood Trails, which is part of Stony Creek Metro Park.
Okay.
Pulled into the parking lot, and a friend was there. I didn't know her at the time, and I said, "Have you seen an eagle?" And she said, "I know where there's a nest."
Oh, for heaven's sake.
And so, it went from there. I became involved with Ruth Glass, who gave birding trips at Stony once a month and did additional trips. And she was an expert at all things bird. And she needed somebody to document the eagles. And I was so very interested.
Pick me, right?
Right, pick me is right.
Yeah.
So it just skyrocketed from there.
You were in the right place at the right time.
Absolutely.
And you had a hobby of photography.
Of
to begin with,
photography
right?
and
So-
of wildlife.
Okay,
And
wow.
yeah, with my background in biology, it was like finally I'm satisfying my
Perfect
career.
storm, yeah,
Right,
wow.
right. And I was working, I'm retired now, but I was working at the time, and the civil engineering firm that I worked with was absolutely wonderful. You know, it would be, I'm going to go over my lunch hour to check on the eagles. And they say, okay, and something good would be going on down there. And I'd call in and say, I'm not coming back. And they say, okay. So they were absolutely wonderful.
And
to
so
me.
you were documenting the habits of that particular pair at the time,
At that
right?
point in time,
Is
yes.
that, so this book, I held this book up earlier and we'll get a close-up of it. This book is the story of P85, which you referred to, right?
Yes.
So the mating pair that got you started.
Exactly. Absolutely.
And what is their story? Just we'll talk a little bit about their story.
All right.
And then I want to get into a broader picture of eagles because
Okay.
I think we should all be interested in protecting them.
Absolutely. We know after 6 years, she's banded. We'll start with that. She's banded with a red band on her left leg and the federal silver band on her right leg.
Okay, what's the red
That
band
is,
for?
it's an auxiliary band, and some states or private institutions will band eagles.
Oh,
And this was specific, it turned out to be from Ohio.
oh.
And we couldn't, of course, read either one of the band numbers, and it took 6 years and 20,000 photographs to be able to identify her. Never by the federal band. We had partial numbers, but not complete. But the red band, after the second year, we had like 2 characters, the P and the 8, but we never could quite get, it swivels. So we never could quite get that third character. And in March of 2019, I got it.
Oh,
And I sent it in to
nice.
USGS bird banding station in Maryland, as well as supporting photographs. And they were able to get her federal band number and sent me a certificate of appreciation
Oh, how nice for identifying.
for identifying
Oh, for
her.
heaven's sakes, we'll have to get a close-up of this as well. Wow, wow, what
So-
a nice thing.
She was hatched in 2008 in Ohio, and the band was on her left leg. It indicated she was an inland bird, as opposed to being along the coast of Lake Erie. They would have put it on her right leg.
Oh my gosh.
So
Wow, there's
we knew that much,
Okay.
that she was inland and from Ohio. And I kept contacting USGS and asking them for additional information. Well, she was from, I believe it's Richland County. I don't know if it says. I think it's Richland County, west of Mansfield. So I got on Google Earth and panned around, and there was a reservoir that was
so you
west
found her
of
birthplace.
Mansfield. I did. It was
Isn't that
wonderful.
something? So do they band them when they're babies? Is that
They do some.
invade the
Well,
nest?
yes.
Okay.
But in this case, no. There was a photographer that was down at the nest site on Memorial Weekend 2008, and the chicks would have been, I don't know, 6 weeks old perhaps. And he was taking pictures of them, and the branch broke, and the nest toppled to the ground with him standing there. And she had a brother, and he survived, as did she. There's a rehabilitation rescue place. I believe it's Ohio Bird Sanctuary, that's on the north side of this particular reservoir. So he went over there, got them, they came back, checked out the eaglets, built a platform out of wood pallets, put it on a portion of the tree, put the nest materials in,
Good.
babies in, and the parents are in the treetops looking down upon them the whole time.
Watching it happen.
And as soon as they walked away, they started feeding them. So she made her way here, and
I'm going to stop you right there. We're
Okay.
going to take a short break, and I do want to hear about her journey 9 minutes up
All right.
already, isn't that something?
Amazing.
So don't go away. You'll find out about her journey, and then a little bit more about eagles in particular, our Michigan eagles, and what their travel patterns are and their breeding patterns. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to our Community Access. I'm Terry Stiles with Joan Bonin, right?
Yes.
Bonin. In my opinion, an eagle expert. I don't know if you want to argue with that or not, but you know a heck of a lot more than anybody I know about eagles. So you were starting to tell us the story about P85.
That's
she
correct.
was born in Ohio.
She was hatched in Ohio.
Hatched, sorry.
Yeah.
And is that when they banded her, when they fell out of, when the
At
branch
some
broke?
point before she fledged, before she
Okay.
flew for the first time, they banded her.
Okay, so that's how you were able to track how she got here
Exactly.
from Ohio. Is that unusual for eagles to wander that far from home?
Not completely. They do have a tendency to wander. The first few years of life, they're vagabonds.
Are
could-
they
they could
vagabonds
be
because
anywhere.
of territorial issues? I know swans have territorial issues. I want a bit larger birds.
They put a GPS band on the Decorah. I think it was the first Decorah chick of Decorah, Iowa. There's nest cams there. She was D1, and in the first couple of years, she'd logged 9,000 miles.
Holy
They're
cow.
kids.
Wow.
They travel.
They're spreading their wings.
Exactly. Plus, they have to learn how to hunt and fish and forage for their own, and
Do they learn that
eventually
on their
establish themselves. Yes, pretty much.
Parents
they
don't
do.
teach them.
Yeah, they observe,
Okay.
but the parents don't teach them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like
right. That's kind of fallacy.
So I was fortunate enough to have a saw-whet owl in my yard for about 4 or 5 years.
Oh my gosh.
And I watched that owl teach the little ones how to fly.
Oh, that's
it was
wonderful.
fascinating.
I
Every
bet
year,
it was.
2 babies. It was really
Oh
fun.
my
2 chicks
goodness.
every year.
Oh, you're so
It made me
lucky.
wonder. Oh, I know I was. I really was. It was a fascinating experience. I've always been a bird lover, and I think I told you the story. The very first time I ever saw an eagle, ever in my life, was mid-90s here in Oxford. And it flew over my yard, and the wingspan, we'll talk about that, took up the size of my yard. And that's what caused me to look up, and it was an eagle,
Oh my
which I had to
gosh.
verify with Audubon Society because they were so rare. And we'll get
Right.
into that.
At that
the
point in
reason
time,
why
they sure
they're
were.
so rare. We'll go back to P85, but now that we're on that
Absolutely.
subject, why is it that we didn't see them until all of a sudden we're starting to see them?
Oh,
What
it was a
happened?
combination of things. Back actually in the 1800s, eagles were persecuted. The ranchers and farmers felt that they were killing their
chickens.
wildlife, chickens or newborn lambs or, something like that. So they'd shoot them. And, thus in 1940, actually, they created the Golden and Bald Eagle, what is it? Protection Act. And it says specifically in it, and I have to read this. The act provides criminal penalties for persons to take, possess, sell, purchase, barter, offer to sell, purchase or barter, transport, export, import, at any time or any manner, any bald eagle or any golden eagle, alive or dead, or any part including feathers, nests, or eggs thereof. Take, the act defines take as pursue, shoot at, poison, wound, kill, capture, trap, collect, molest, and disturb. That's why I had to read this.
There's absolutely
Regulations. further define disturb, and this is where you get into not getting close to
You
nests.
can't get in their nests, right? So I know that you've documented the story of this pair,
Right.
but you had special permission to get as close as you got. You
Exactly, and we always maintain
Robin
them.
Haworth and Mark Scarlett were all
Right.
able to do that.
We all continued to maintain the minimum distance, greater than the minimum distance.
But you
from
had to
the
get
nest.
permission to be able to do so,
To
correct?
be able, yes.
From the state of Michigan
Well,
or DNR?
part of the reason is it was DNR, but it was Huron-Clinton Metro Parks put an additional restriction on it.
Good.
Of a quarter mile, which is really
good.
far. When P85, when P85 first arrived at Stony Creek Metro Park, they attempted to nest in Winter Cove, if you're familiar where that is. It's part of the main part of the park.
Oh.
And, you know, people went
Not a
in.
good idea.
And yeah, they went in to watch the eagles. They went in to photograph the eagles. And something happened. You know, I'm not saying that it was the photographers or, you know, whatever, but the male eagle flew and hit a power line and was killed.
Oh my goodness.
And I think it was in correlation with the DNR, they decided to put an additional restriction.
Very good.
Yeah, on them. So they are protected during nesting season.
So do they mate for life?
Mating for life is not really the correct term. They're monogamous. They will have fidelity to their mate unless something happens.
Okay.
And in the case when P85 got injured, she couldn't reproduce. She couldn't perch to mate with the male.
Oh, okay.
And because of that, he looked for another mate.
He went elsewhere.
Mate.
Ah.
He found another mate. And there were a number of them that were vying for his attention.
Oh,
So,
interesting.
but yeah, he settled on another one, and she was there for almost 3 years, not quite.
In the same area.
I don't know where she arrived from,
But
she
did they
stayed at the
settle?
nest.
Oh.
She stayed at the nest or flew north to hunt, and P85 eventually came back and stayed at the main lake in Stony Creek Metro Park. And this little male would do all his duties at the nest and to this new female, and then fly down and be a companion to P85.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
we were crazy about him.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so
but he's no longer with us.
he's no
correct?
longer with us, that's correct.
Is that the one that you saw a picture, or you saw her on the lake with him?
Yeah, I can't 100% say that was him,
okay.
but I'm thinking it probably
They liked each other.
Yeah,
Isn't that a
very
love
much.
story? I
It
love
is so
that.
much a love story.
Aw.
Yeah, even though you can't be the mother to my children,
Yeah,
I still
love
really
you.
like you.
Oh, isn't that
So
something?
He was precious. So.
Speaking of children, how many eggs do they lay as a rule? And
They will lay 1 or 2, rarely 3. A couple years ago on the west side of the state, there were 4 eaglets.
Oh,
So
my
4
goodness.
eggs.
So they actually all hatch.
Yeah, and
As a
all
rule?
hatched and all grew up and all fledged.
Oh,
so,
that's great.
yeah.
I want to talk about the fledglings when we come back. That 9 minutes blew by again. And I meant that to be a pun. So don't go away. We will be right back. This is an interesting conversation.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our Community Access. I'm Terry Stiles, and I'm still with Joan Bonin. I'm so excited that you're here.
Oh, thank
I'm
you so
telling you,
much.
I had you scheduled for a half-hour show. It's going to be a two-part, just because I'm not even getting to any of the questions that I had written down that I was curious
and I can
about.
talk and talk about these
Well,
eagles.
oh
So
my goodness, of course. And especially this pair, because you
they're
have a
special.
personal connection to them.
Right.
But we were talking about their clutch is usually two-ish as an average.
One or two.
One or two.
Right. Right now we have one nest that I know of with two in it, and the remainder of them have one that we can see. This is still early in the season. They've just hatched in the last month, 3 weeks.
So when do they
maybe.
lay them? When do they start nesting? About January-ish?
They'll start working on the nest.
And they come back to the same nest?
Yeah, they come back to the same nest. They'll start renovations. Usually the end of October, because the amount of daylight is about the same as when they truly get into the courtship and bonding and,
isn't
and
that something?
nestorations. A lot of
Okay.
people call it that. That'll taper off, and then in January it picks up again. Usually from the beginning of February to the end of February, they'll lay their first egg.
Okay.
There's a 35-day incubation period.
Okay.
It's an average. It's actually 34 to approximately 39 days. 35 days is usually about when I start looking. And you can see a change of behavior from when they start incubation. There'll be somebody on the nest and down low all the
They
time.
flip roles?
And periodically they'll get up to ensure proper warmth and humidity, and they'll roll the eggs and then go right back down. They usually lay real flush.
So you don't have opportunity to see them that often?
Barely. You can just see the top of somebody's head.
Oh, isn't
and
that
then there's a change, when they hatch. Then all of a
and then
sudden
you
they're
see
sitting
the
up
whole thing.
straight. Right.
So
right.
I want to go back to the clutch part. So earlier in the previous segment, we talked about the decline of eagles, and they were being killed, but DDT played a role in thinning the shell.
Thinning the
eggs,
shells,
right?
yes.
So they
After
weren't
the
making
war
it
was the
to-
advent of DDT.
Isn't that something?
And it was great for mosquitoes and such, but it went into the water system.
Yeah.
And it was absorbed into the fish, and the eagles picked
Yeah.
it up from the fish. And it caused thinning.
And the hawks as well, right? Hawks had an issue as well.
To some extent, but mostly hawks, they get little birds or
that's
small
true.
mammals.
Sure.
It was a fish issue. Golden eagles out west didn't have the issue at all.
Going back to the fish thing, are they having issues, the eagles, with mercury poisoning?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a research project. I'm going to grab my cap and show you my cool cap. A research project that Dr. Bowerman from University of Maryland and U.S. Fish and Wildlife has been working on for 42 years now. This was their 40th anniversary.
Oh, look at that. That's
And
beautiful.
yes, and it was given to me, so
Oh, sweet.
absolutely.
Yeah, very
but this
cool,
is to commemorate the start of the research project for them. So that was awesome. But they monitor a number of eagles' nests to monitor the contaminants that are in the various eagles, and they do ban them because they have to keep track.
Sure. What a
And-
cool job.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yes. Yeah.
What's a
Absolutely.
typical day like for an eagle? Nesting as opposed to just a regular, when there's
Nesting.
no
As long as
fledglings.
these chicks are there and young, when
They're
they're
busy.
unable to thermoregulate, and that's usually less than a couple of weeks, there will be somebody on the nest all the time.
Okay. Who
they-
provides the food then?
They
Is it just a male job?
No,
Both.
they alternate. Somebody will be brooding, and somebody will be resting or flying, getting some exercise, or
Fishing.
getting fishing, getting prey and bringing it back to feed them.
Fish is not the only thing they eat.
No, they're opportunistic,
Yeah.
and they will eat roadkill, which is one thing that people need to watch out for.
Yeah.
That's one way to prevent mortality in eagles, is to slow down and pull roadkill off the road. If there's a deer on the road, if you're able to and it's safe to get them off the road.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the difference
Feather
between
mulch.
an eagle and what was it that you just saw in the parking lot here?
Osprey?
Ospreys. Tell people the difference so they can tell the difference. Because, and I'm asking this because I've thought for years that there was an eagle's nest in Ortonville off of 15. You could
Right.
see all this stuff on the telephone pole.
Right.
But it turns out it was an osprey nest, right?
Right, correct.
They fly similar. They both fish,
They
right?
do. I wish I had brought a picture.
Oh, we'll
Yeah,
find
they-
one. We'll put one up there.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, an osprey has much narrower wings. They're a more refined bird. Their wingspan can be up to 6 feet.
Oh,
So
okay.
they can be sizable. But there's a whole different look to them.
then we will
Then-
definitely put a comparison.
Right,
on the screen.
absolutely. The bald eagle has much wider wings.
And they have that head.
And they have that white head. But
And
the
white
osprey do
underneath,
too,
right?
so-
Are they white underneath?
No, they're dark.
They're dark,
As a mature adult,
The eagle.
is the eagles.
Right.
That's correct.
Okay, and the osprey as
I
well?
don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, again,
so.
we'll put those
Right.
pictures up there. Let's see.
Yeah, I monitored osprey for the DNR for a few years, and I still don't know the answer.
They're not as interesting as
Right.
eagles, right?
No, not at all.
They're-
The osprey kind of have a bandit look to them.
So
Black
you
mask.
did mention ahead of time before we started shooting, and then we'll wrap this up and go on to the next part 2.
Okay.
Their wingspans can be what? How
A bald
large?
eagle?
Yeah.
The male in this area can have a 6-foot wingspan, and the female will have up to 8.
Isn't that
So,
something? And how heavy are they?
Slightly.
What do
The
they
female
weigh?
probably weighs 12 pounds in this area,
okay.
or close to.
That's a good
Whereas,
sized
you know,
bowling
male-
ball.
Yeah, the male will weigh about 10.
Oh,
So
wow.
I have a rope
Yeah.
for a wingspan.
Yeah. Isn't that something? So, are they common in our area? So this is the wingspan of an eagle.
That's the wingspan of a
something?
male,
Okay. And there's the
and
female.
that's a
Isn't
female.
that something?
Isn't that incredible?
Unbelievable.
I know, it truly is. To
have a
actually
bird that
visualize
large,
it too
yeah.
is,
They're
it's amazing.
so majestic to watch fly.
They sure are.
As I said, I have the good fortune to see them at least once a month.
That's really good.
Right now, it's been kind of quiet, and now I realize they've got babies
Why.
going on.
And the migratory eagles have headed north again. We get quite a few migratory eagles through the winter, and there might be still a few around, but most of them have headed north, perhaps to their nesting grounds. Or
Sure.
a lot of them are immature. They go to wherever they go.
Whatever they want to do.
Right. Back up to Polar Bear Park, or
Well,
I don't know.
I am so excited that you've been here.
Thank you.
Keep an eye out, and can I put your telephone number at the bottom of the screen in case people have seen nests or?
Oh, that would be
requested?
wonderful.
Okay,
Yeah.
we will do that. If you think
Thank
you
you.
have a nest in your area, certainly let Joan know because she knows all the right people. And watch
That
our
would be
next one.
wonderful.
Next week, we're going to have more of what Joan has to say about eagles. And thank you for joining us today. I'm Terry Stiles.